Alabama's WVUA News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Tamika Alexander. Thanks for joining us. In just a few hours, voters in Tuscaloosa County will head to the polls. The race for probate judge continues to be highly contested. Both incumbent Judge Hardy McCollum and Tuscaloosa County Sheriff Ted Sexton have spent most of their time debating over the issues facing the county commission. But in tonight's top story, WVUA's Travis Leader takes us to the other half of the job, which happens at probate court.
We do all kinds of various and sundry judicial functions that require us to be involved.
Sheriff Sexton is committing to all responsibilities that come with the probate judge, but he says probate court would run much better if there was a little extra help.
First of all, the law requires that the probate judge hears the cases, and after being approached by members of the Bar Association, they have asked that I hire a lawyer within the probate court, which I think would be of assistance.
But McCollum says who needs help when you have a track record like his?
I have been doing it for over 30 years. That's the reason it can be done, and we've done it effectively, efficiently. We have good people working for the taxpayers.
Sexton says the public would benefit from the extra staff, and this hire would make probate court run more efficient and effective.
I don't think that our public would have any issue about having a lawyer within the office that would be there to assist lawyers with their filings or activities or issues that are brought before the probate court.
But the incumbent Judge McCollum says his challenger does not understand the position he is running for.
I don't think he ever fully understood what the responsibilities of a probate judge are, and just has consistently been inconsistent in his response.
Sexton says he's ready for both jobs, but he is not ruling out trying to let the public decide whether two people can handle the duties better than one person. In Tuscaloosa County, Travis Leader, WVUA News.
A race that affects a lot of people around West Alabama is the District 7 congressional race. Democratic incumbent Terry Sewell is taking on Republican Don Chamberlain. The big issue on District 7, which includes much of the Black Belt, is jobs. Both candidates plan to go to Washington to fight for the people of the district.
We hope to return to Washington to continue to put pressure on Washington on the shared values that this district has. Our number one issue is job creation. So I look forward to going back to Congress and working on providing more resources and opportunities.
And what we have got to do is we've got to raise the level of income for the working class people in this district. And to do that, we've got to do a lot of legislation adjustments in Washington.
And of course, tomorrow you will be selecting the next president of the United States. But do you really know how the electoral process works? WVUA's Daniel Sparkman joins us now to tell us exactly how your vote is counted. Daniel?
Yeah, Tamika, now every vote counts, but we do not directly elect our president. Alabamians will vote for 9 electors who will gather in Montgomery next month to officially cast votes for the president. Then the votes from all 50 states go to Congress to be certified in a meeting on January 6th. This is what's called the Electoral College. Now, in all, there are 538 electoral votes. One of the candidates, Romney or Obama, must receive at least 270 votes to win the election. So what happens if there's a tie and each candidate has 269 electoral votes? Well, that's where the 12th Amendment comes into play. If no person has a majority, the House of Representatives will choose the president from the 3 highest vote getters. If no majority exists for vice president, then the Senate will choose from the top 2 vote getters a vice president. Now, this vote would take place after the new Congress is sworn in on January 3rd. So if the House stays Republican controlled and the Senate stays Democratic controlled, well, we could have a Romney-Obama presidency with Romney as the president and Obama as the vice president. Tamika, many experts are saying this scenario could play out this year if Romney pulls out victory in a couple of key states.
Very interesting how that works. I guess we'll just have to wait and see, Daniel. Thanks. Well, churches in Tuscaloosa and Northport came together tonight to hold a non-political prayer rally. The purpose of the rally was to remind people what they should really be thinking about. WVUA's Courtney Highfield has more.
Churches from around the area joined hands with the community at a prayer rally tonight in hopes of getting their minds off the election and on to something they say is more important.
We know that tonight is a political night as far as everyone preparing for tomorrow. But what our hope is that we can get more of the focus off of the government and get a lot of the focus back on Jesus Christ.
Church officials say America has issues to deal with that are much bigger than choosing a candidate.
People are hurting, and they're hurting financially, they're hurting physically, they're hurting in their health issues, they're hurting in relationships, all over. People are just hurting, and brokenness is one of those things that is our part to do when we come to pray and say, God, we're asking you to help us. And then he uses broken things to make things right.
And Rogers says the only way our country can heal is if everyone comes together.
The point is that sense of unity of us all coming together to call forth his name and to ask and beseech him and to really say, God, would you please hear our prayers as we tell you that we're sorry for what we've done.
The pastors at the rally urged people not to vote based on a political party, but to vote based on values. Reporting in Tuscaloosa, Courtney Highfield, WVUA News.
And be sure to join Alabama's home team on election night. We'll have special coverage starting with WVUA first at 4 and running throughout the evening. Then at 9:30, join us for extended election coverage. You can also find results online at WVUATV.com. Well, turning now to the weather, let's get a first check on Alabama's home team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. Hey, Richard, chilly and wet night out there tonight.
Yeah, really cold and rainy out there. A little bit of lightning, thunder as well across much of the area, but the rain's starting to slack off over the western side of the state. Still a lot of rain happening at Tuscaloosa towards Birmingham, but the heavier rain now east of Interstate 65. The back edge of the rain will continue to slide through, but still some mist back here, even though you don't see it on radar. There's still a little bit of mist and drizzle being reported over West Alabama counties and southwest Alabama, but the heavier rain starting to kind of move on out. This upper level disturbance, you actually see the spin moving right across West Alabama where the upper level low is now, tracking from Tuscaloosa towards Birmingham and eventually towards Anniston. It will track east tonight and will go dry tomorrow. So here's that forecast for Election Day, a cold day, 52 at 9 o'clock in the morning, 55 at lunch, and 58 tomorrow afternoon. A little drizzle and mist going to be possible early in the day, but what about the rest of the forecast? And how about your weekend outlook? Weather straight ahead, so stick around.
Thanks, Richard. Northport City Council swore in 2 new members this evening and gained a new council president. What do these new members bring to the city, and what do they want for Northport's future? WVUA's Molly Mitchell was at Northport City Hall to find out.
Today we'll get sworn in tonight and sworn at tomorrow.
Mayor Hernan, along with city council members, celebrated the start of a new session with 2 new members. He is looking forward to what each member will bring to the city.
I know Councilman Sullivan's 27 years old, so there'll be some young ideas.
Me being that young, it brings a new energy and new ideas and a new work ethic, and I think that's what we need.
Councilmember Hayes was sworn in as the first woman in history to represent District 1 and says she is honored to be elected by the district.
They put their trust in me, and I don't intend to let them down. But that is a humbling feeling to know that they actually got out and voted for me.
Veteran Council Member Jay Logan was appointed as the president of the council by fellow members, and he hopes to use his experience to better the council.
I think with me this second term and just being able to form better bonds and better working relationships with citizens, of course, bringing their concerns to the council as a whole.
Mayor Herndon is happy with the new diversity in his council.
So having a youngster, I would say, having a female to go along with the 3 veterans of the council, it's just going to be a lot of good input from all sides.
I think in the next 10 years, you'll see Northport as one of the premier cities in the state of Alabama.
Reporting in Northport, Molly Mitchell, WVUA News.
Meanwhile, the town of Coaling also has a new city leader. William Burkhalter was sworn in as the mayor tonight. As the new mayor, Burkhalter plans on achieving 3 key things that he says will benefit Coaling in the future. This includes working on a local sewer system, turning lanes on Highway 11, as well as planning and zoning issues. As a Coaling resident, Burkhalter knows what makes this town so special.
We're small in number, but nobody can beat us in heart. Our folks love our town. We love each other, and working together, we're going to see all these things accomplished plus more.
Many other communities around West Alabama also swore in their newly elected leaders today. Well, when WVUA News at 10 returns, the Crimson Tide pulled out a win over LSU in the last few minutes of Saturday's game. We will show you fan reactions next. And the Crimson Tide women's basketball team welcomed neighboring Stillman College to Foster Auditorium tonight Gary Harris will have the highlights in Alabama's home team sports.